We pick up with Queen still living with Lizzie and Miss Sally. Queen sees Jamie, now going by James, walking up the road and runs to tell the other women. James comes back to the house, and the next day they head into town together. He's trying to sell land and thanks Queen for everything: cooking, cleaning, gardening. Says the family wouldn't have made it without her. He offers her $2 a week. Queen refuses the money, but he insists. Slavery is over and he has to pay her something. That night at dinner, Lizzie randomly announces she's pregnant, which is wild because she looks old as dirt. James is excited and hopes it's a girl, since the house feels empty without Jane. Queen goes into town and tries to buy rice, but thinks she's being overcharged. Some white men corner her outside the store and try to assault her. She takes off on a horse and hides in the bushes. That night, James is on the porch waiting for her. He's worried. Lizzie, meanwhile, is like, she's gone and good riddance. Next day, Queen shows back up. Lizzie scolds her for worrying her father, and Queen's like, yeah, I'm out. Miss Sally asks if she's really going to leave without saying goodbye. She gives Queen some money and says she'll miss her. Queen walks down the road, runs into James again. He tells her he'll miss her. She leaves anyway. Honestly, she tried. The white women just couldn't take her presence. Jealousy was running high. We cut to Queen walking a long time and ending up in town. One of the white women thinks she's white too and calls her pretty. Queen smiles and goes,
Queen, you's a white girl now.
She looks for work and gets caught trying to pass. Ends up in a soup kitchen where she meets another high yellow woman named Alice, who is also passing. Alice lets her stay with her and teaches her how to pass. Turns out Alice is a whore, but she says if white men want her so bad, they're gonna have to pay for it. She tells Queen she's beautiful and shows her her reflection like it's a Cinderella moment. That night they go to a party. Alice tells her not to be a wallflower. Queen ends up dancing with someone. Later, Alice says she found her a job in a flower shop. A few days pass and now Queen is being courted by a white man. She's hiding the fact that she's black. Alice warns her not to fall in love because eventually he's going to find out. It's the 4th of July. He proposes to her, but then in town, he beats up a black man and calls him a filthy N-word. Yeah, that's who she's about to marry. Alice is pissed and tells her she's playing with fire. Says if he finds out the truth, he might kill her. Queen goes to the man's house to break things off. He tells her he already wrote to her father. She faints. That night, she wakes up in his bed. He's acting like they're married already. He confesses his love. Then he tries to assault her. She blurts out the truth. Her father was white. Her mother was a slave. He assaults her anyways. Queen returns to Alice, who scolds her again, says people are harassing her now, and she has to kick Queen out to keep her own cover. Queen says she was just trying to protect her virginity, and Alice hits her with, girl, we've all been taken before. Queen leaves, ends up with some black folks who offer her food, then throw it on the ground and tell her to eat it there, you white bitch. Later that night, the white hood people show up and burn the barn down. The same lady who threw the food is now crying. Queen walks for days, starving and struggling. She finally makes it to a church and screams for help, collapsing.
Help me, somebody, help me. Help me, please. Help. A negro. A negro.
A kind woman takes her in and helps her find work with 2 white Christian women who run a mission. Queen gets hired as domestic help. A man shows up looking for work. They let him do a trial day. He and Queen talk. He says he's looking for where he belongs. They bond over dinner, talk about whipping, slavery, and freedom. They get closer and eventually sleep together. Afterward, Queen wants him to stay. He doesn't. At work, Queen's stealing food. Turns out she's pregnant. The women confront the man. He says he'll stand by her. Queen wasn't even gonna tell him. Her friend threatens him and says if he hurts Queen, she'll make sure he can't get another girl pregnant again. Queen is supposed to meet him at the train station. He never shows up. He really ain't shit. She got back to her friend. They try to go to a woman to abort the baby, but Queen backs out last minute. They return to the white woman who says they'll raise the baby in a godly home, but Queen is tainted. Later, the women ask her how it feels to be pregnant, say they envy her. They never got to have husbands or kids because of the war. Cut to months later, Queen has the baby, named him David. The women baptize him but call him Abner, talking about David being a sinner. They help Queen with the baby, but mostly they just enjoy watching her breastfeed and live through her like creeps. One night, one of them tries to take the baby into her room. Queen refuses. She calls Queen a Jezebel. Queen goes to church and tells the preacher that they're stealing her baby. He basically says, you're black, she's white, ain't nothing you can do. She goes home and finds the reverend holding her baby. She threatens to kill the child before letting them have him. They decide she's crazy and needs to be committed. That night, Queen packs up and runs away with her baby. Good thing too, they are about to lock her up in a mental institution. And that ends part 2. So I forgot to mention her and her sister two different mothers, obviously. They were very close, and it kind of reminded me of the Princess and the Frog, how Tiana was with the white girl in the movie. And I'm wondering if they got that interaction from this movie, because it was very similar. So yeah. Anyways, another thing I noticed on part 2 is that, damn, poor Queen, like, she went through it, okay, from having to leave her plantation home. I mean, it sounds kind of weird, but she felt like that was her home because that was her father. But, you know, obviously there was never gonna be a point that she would have been accepted by other people, especially not the family that he had, his white family, if we want to put it that way. Then when she went out and she tried to get help from other black people, she was shunned, and they like threw her food down into a pig pit, and she had to eat from the ground because they felt like she was close to white or something like that. And then you see her struggling in the church, and somebody finally takes pity on her and helps her out. Also, her trying to pass for white. I'm just looking like at this movie, and I'm trying to get with it, okay? I'm like, maybe she really light skinned in this movie, but how did they not tell her that girl was black? I don't know. You know, high yellow. I don't know. But apparently she finessed one of those men and ended up getting assaulted by him and getting kicked out by the lady that was trying to help her. I mean, it went from bad to worse. And then poor girl ended up meeting the baby daddy, and he ended up abandoning her too. It's just a mess. She really went through some stuff, and I really felt bad for her in this, especially part 2. But yeah, that's it for part 2 of Alex Haley's Queen. Stay tuned for part 3. Thank you. Bye.